The lands, Governor Corzine today signed sweeping global warming legislation. The new law calls for New Jersey to make deep cuts in greenhouse gas emissions. Corzine was accompanied by a champion of the environment, former Vice President Al Gore. As environment correspondent Ed Rogers reports, the emissions reduction will mean big changes for New Jersey residents.
By signing the bill, Governor Corzine commits New Jersey to cutting greenhouse gas emissions such as carbon dioxide by almost 20% by the year 2020 and 80% by the year 2050. Sponsors call it the toughest emission standard in the country.
President Kennedy once said, when written in Chinese, the word crisis is composed of two characters. One represents danger, the other represents opportunity. There is a danger to all humanity if we don't face this issue realistically and practically now. The status quo will not work.
The bill requires the State Department of Environmental Protection to develop an inventory of greenhouse gases and requires the department to come up with recommendations for meeting the goals. PSE&G, the state's largest utility, supports the bill. Officials say the bill addresses the purchase of power from out-of-state plants that pollute more. Company officials say making the reductions in New Jersey will be a challenge.
The three things that we think are critical to achieving these goals are first and foremost conservation, secondly the use of renewable energy supplies, and thirdly, to the extent that we would not be able to meet our needs with just those first two, advanced technologies that are capable of producing electricity such as nuclear power.
This bill also requires New Jersey motorists to make some lifestyle changes. According to one estimate, CO2 emissions from cars and trucks make up 36% of the greenhouse gas emissions in the state. The use of alternative fuels, mass transit, and ride sharing will be emphasized. Change may come slow, though. A statewide commuter survey conducted by the State Department of Transportation in 2005 found that only 4% of those surveyed telecommuted or worked from home one or more days a week.
I think the state not only hasn't emphasized telecommuting enough, which we have amazing potential for, but we also haven't emphasized the use of our public transit infrastructure enough as well. Both of those things, I think, would help make sure that people drive less.
The governor signed the bill here at Giant Stadium a day before the Live Earth concert. The goal of the event is to generate more awareness about global warming. Former Vice President Al Gore and producer of the film An Inconvenient Truth surveyed Giant Stadium this afternoon. The stadium is the North American venue for the worldwide event backed by Gore. The concert is nearly sold out. Gore praised the new law.
You need to know that state governments are beginning to take the lead, and cities are beginning to take the lead, and citizens of this country are beginning to take the lead. And from now on, when I give my slideshow around the world, I'm going to include New Jersey prominently in that list and talk about this legislation.
The former vice president once again talked about his leaving politics, but still took aim at the Bush administration.
And years from now, they'll look back and they'll ask one of two questions. Either they will ask, what in the world were they thinking? How could they have sat on their hands and done nothing when the scientific consensus was overwhelming and when the stakes were so high? How could they have done this to us? Didn't they care?
Ed Rogers, NJN News, East Rutherford.